Hello, I'm James Law Jr., and this is GH Dirty Deeds. The GH Mini Spotlight has been a hiatus for the last almost I guess a month now, taking care of some stuff in my personal life, but I do a few shows here and there on subjects while I'm on my reduced work schedule this month. This one I had to come on. I'm like, I have to say something. I have to come on because it's very interesting. I took a day off of Twitter basically, and I came on and saw total pandemonium in the GH sphere of Twitter. And it took me about 20 minutes to find out what they were actually talking about. It's something that's very interesting that happens on Twitter. So it happens sometimes, especially in Twitter. People will be talking about something that happened and all the things that happen, but they won't use names. They won't include who it is. There'll be some initials sometimes. So you're like, well, if someone did something horrible, why are you concealing them? Or why are you afraid to say their name? If they're saying something that's offensive to you or tweeting or retweeting something they did, why is it you don't want to say the name? You'll defend what you're saying and how you feel, but you won't say their names. I think that's a phenomenon I don't understand. I'm going to say names when I'm on here. I don't care. I'm going to say names in a second. But so it took me a while to find out what the scandal was and who it was and who and what did and what. But once I found out, completely shocked. Did not see this coming whatsoever at all, but not shocked. The large scheme of things. Here's the deal. So Twitter agree bonkers anyway. It's just bonkers anyway. And there are folks who are on Twitter all the time, and a lot of us know those folks. Some even follow me, some don't. Some hate me, some don't. Whatever. I don't. As you know, I don't give a fuck. But here's the deal. Some of them actually find things out and actually call things, and I agree with them. I'm like, yes, I totally agree with you when you say certain things. Now, when I call things out, I have my supporters and I have my detractors, and that's totally fine. I get it. I stand by everything I say and post. I will stand by this video as I post it. But I like to see what's going on out there. And so one thing is there are soap actors who tweet. There are soap actors who retweet and or like other tweets. If you look hard enough, sometimes you can tell what they like, what they're into by their tweets, retweets, and likes. Sometimes it's different. They tweet one thing, but they'll like something over here and retweet something over here. It just really depends, right? Now we have to agree. Nowadays, it's completely normal. Folks will look back at people's old tweets. It happens all the time now. You get famous, no matter what medium you're in, it happens all the time. For whatever reasons. Some people get upset, they fall in love with an actor and they get obsessed. So at first it may be harmless. Just go back and see, let me see what they said a year ago, 2 years ago. I want to see maybe old pictures of them. It starts out innocent. Others may not like a certain actor and they'll look for stuff. Regardless, if you have stuff out there for them to find, ain't nobody's fault. You may not like that people are going back there and looking at people's old tweets and trying to dig up stuff. But if you have nothing to dig up, then you're good. You can look all you want. I don't have any racist tweets or homophobic tweets or likes or relikes of racist homophobic people. I just don't. You can look back as far as wide. Now I'm 53 years old. So when social media came out, I was in my 40s. And I've said from the very beginning of social media, this next generation and generations after me have verbal diarrhea. They got to say everything and post every feeling and everything in the moment all the time. I'm never that way. I don't do that. I just don't. There are a lot of things I don't say It was like, who cares? Like, who cares? But folks, they tweet everything. Now, people like Nancy Lee Gron, and others like her who tweet a lot of stuff. They're very democratic. They're Democrats. They're all about, liberal stuff, and people hate her for it. She still does it anyway. Ingo Rademacher was the other side, where he was very about his beliefs and he stands by them. And I've always said this: your page is not a democracy; it's dictatorship. You can put whatever you want on there. It's your page. Now, knowing whatever you put out, whatever I put out, whatever you put out, people can interpret it however they want. And that's just how that works, right? We all know that. Many soap actors have beliefs you wouldn't even believe. And I know some of the stuff that they believe others don't believe in. They just don't say anything. They're smart. They're like, watch my performance, watch my acting. I don't need to say it. And I admire that. To me, ignorance is bliss sometimes. Now, others might be like, well, no, James, I want to know what they're thinking, because I don't want to support somebody if they think something against me. That is a double-edged sword. So I don't fault someone who wants to know also. I don't. But for me, I guess I sometimes was like, I don't want to know. There's enough craziness in the world. I really just do not need to know more crazy. I just want to enjoy. I just want to enjoy the performances and not know anything. I do. Sometimes I am an ostrich in the sand, head in the sand. But if I do find out some stuff, then I'm out of this. My head's out of the sand, out of my ass. I'm like, okay, then I decide from there. So apparently, the latest person to get backlash and have a Twitter scandal, which I really did not expect. I'm going to say his name, Michael Blake Kruse. There are a lot of folks who are not saying his name or saying initials. We're not going to dance around it. I've seen some of the tweets. I've seen some of the retweets. I've seen some of the likes, because people are posting them. I'm not looking for them. People are posting them. But Michael Blake Kruse, who plays Rory on GH. It's very interesting, because I have to always go back to me. When he first came on the scene, he literally showed a picture, and he was standing in the background in a cop outfit, and people's panties were wet. People were losing their shit over this guy. Oh my God, he's so hot. Oh my God. And I brought the question on one of these shows. It was Daytime Today. Is he too old for Trina? Now, in real life, he's married, has a child, and I believe he's in his early 30s. And Trina is supposed to be like 19. Now, I brought this up and got tons of backlash and flack. They're both adults. It's not that much of an age difference. They named all these other couples just all this stuff. And I was just like, are you defending because you just think he's super hot? And I'm sorry, you can tell me anything you want, but if I'm looking at your Twitter account and all you're doing is praising how hot he is, and him and Trina will be great together, then I'm like, I don't believe anything else you're saying. You think he's hot, and that's just it. And that's fine. You think he's hot, it's great. He is good looking. There's not even a thing. But I was just bringing up the thought that, what if her and Spencer are closer in age, and if we had someone else on the show that was closer in age, I'm like saying, not saying you can't have multiple ages date and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like what's wrong with having, I think they brought on a black man around her age, and there was a triangle there, and people just still got mad. They got mad at me. They all went to town on me, whatever. But I was like, at the time, he barely said one word. We don't know who he is. We don't know anything. And people were already painting a whole picture of a future. Ironically, a couple months later, now the scandal is coming out. Now, there's some people saying there was obviously someone did this, an account did this, and well, okay, did it, okay. But again, if there's nothing to dig up, then there's nothing to dig up. Then you have the, you know what I mean? Like, then you have nothing to worry about. Now, stuff's come out. You can go online and find all the different details, but there was some stuff that was homophobic and racist. Now, he's a person of color, which doesn't mean you can't, doesn't mean anything. You can feel how you feel. And he actually responded. I was like, oh, he totally responded. And Michael, if you want to come on my show and talk about it, I'm happy to have you on here. We can talk about it, have just an honest conversation about what went down, your feelings, all that. Now he claims that he has changed. It was dumb shit that he wrote when he was younger. There's some tweets, I guess, from 2020. It was only a couple of years ago. That he has changed, so he's changed his views. Now, yes, people can change. It's not impossible. No, not impossible. People can change. I have a friend who was basically used homophobic slurs, was kind of against gay people when he was in his teen years. And I've now known him since his 20s, early 20s. Not like that anymore. He's changed. Actually, he's changed his whole mindset about a lot of stuff since then. And we acknowledge that he used to be that way when he was in his teens. Now he's in his 40s. Totally different person. And I actually have watched the change and seen it happen. So I was like, yeah, so people can change. It's totally fine. But I have this thing. This is just a question. I don't know. Just a little to put it out there for people. I guess when I think of posting dumb shit, it's maybe out drinking, partying, you wreck a car, by driving reckless, maybe you're kissing another girl you shouldn't be kissing, posting pictures, cheating in school. I guess to me, that's maybe cussing too much in a post. I don't know. I always think that to me is dumb shit when you're younger. I have those. I don't want to say her names. Somebody in my family who was posting all these titty shots and half cut off things and all. Now totally complete person. Now different. But I used to party when I was younger. But there was no social media when I was partying. To me, that to me is what dumb shit is. No, I guess for me, because I'm not racist, homophobic, and don't support anybody like that. I guess to me, I don't write things. But again, it's a different generation. I never felt the need to write something inflammatory. I say my thoughts all the time on here, and for some people that could be inflammatory. But if you look at my thoughts, they're just basically general thoughts that I have on maybe a character or a feeling. I don't use any racist terms or homophobic terms or any kind of terms that everyone could agree are like, that's not good. It's just opinion. I have opinions here and there that I post, but not like that. And the age thing, yes, it does play a part. See, this age thing is a very strange thing right now, because with the shooter in Uvalde, he was 18. And so there's a whole contingency that he was young. He was 18. Now I agree, 18 is young. I say a kid because I'm 53, so I'll say 18 and go, that's a kid. But it's considered an adult. And at 18, you can buy a gun, but at 18, you can't rent a car, you can't drink alcohol. Like, there's things you can't do. Yet they're saying you're an adult. You graduate high school, you're going to college, presumably, or just in the workforce. You're 18. So that's an adult. And in many cases, people are tried as adults in situations they're 18, 19. And I will agree, sometimes 18, 19, 20 years old is different than being in your mid-30s. Sometimes. Now, being 18, 19, 20 years old and being in your 40s completely, if you did the work and you've changed a lot, either direction, yes. But so this age thing, well, Michael was young. Well, maybe that's true. And maybe he has changed his ideas. I would love to see what his ideas are on things now. Or maybe he hasn't in some ways. Everybody has a right to feel the way they feel about something. Some of the things that he retweeted was on critical race theory. It's seeming like he's against it, seemingly. That's a whole big, huge discussion, obviously too big for this show. But maybe he does not believe in critical race theory. Maybe he thinks it's something that's harmful. Maybe he thinks it's being used again. I mean, who knows? And he has a right to think that way if he thinks that way. But maybe he doesn't. But being 31, 32 versus being 21, 22, yes, it's 10-year difference. Is that enough time? Is that acceptable? Is that a good excuse? Is that acceptable? If you're in your mid-20s, then you're grown, right? Because people can have kids and buy houses. I mean, like, you're grown, right? So I don't know. And that part, I'm always kind of like, I don't. Some part of me thinks that's not a good excuse. Another part of me thinks, well, that could be an excuse. So I don't know. But I think it's very interesting. And Michael was like, DM me. He told everybody to DM him. I'll talk to you. People are writing him off already. They're pissed. Some say it's because it's the Sabrina fans are trying to sabotage the relationship by outing this guy. Now, what's really funny is, I don't know if I believe all that. No, I can believe that Sabrina fans don't want anything to interfere with their couple. No, I get that part. That part, I've seen how cuckoo some fans can go over a fandom, over a coupling. And again, sure, somebody could go, okay, I'm going to create a fake account, go look at all his old tweets, start posting them, and try to get him in trouble. Okay, that could happen too. That's totally. I don't know if that's the case in this case. I don't know. Conspiracy theories happen all the time too. But something, something is amiss of someone posting these things from 2 years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Yet they're there. So it's kind of like, if there was nothing there, then it would be an issue. But there's stuff that's there. So I'm very curious to follow this and see how this plays out. And again, Blake Kruse is welcome to come on my show. We can talk about it if you wanted to. If he sees this. I'm just really curious how this plays out with the fans, the fandoms. I don't know if, GH seems to be a place where they don't care. They like their actors, they keep them. That's what it seems like to me, except when it came to the mask and vaccine mandate. But I think for you out there, the soap fans out there especially, just keep in mind, just in general, you don't know your soap actors as well as you think you do. Just keep that in mind. Just like anybody else. I mean, there are some folks who think some actors are bitches, and I meet them and they're completely sweet and innocent, and they're not even like that. So you just never know when it comes to your soap actors. And I always say this all the time. We have to be careful who we worship who are on our TV sets, on our phones and tablets and everything. I'm sure I have those in there. Because again, all of us are flawed. All of us are not perfect. All of us have things. We do. We all have things. I don't purport to be perfect at all, but I know there's certain things I don't have, and you guys can look them up. This is Jay's Dirty Deeds, actually like a real life edition. And I'm James Lott Jr. We'll see you next time.